Good morning and a warm welcome to everyone to yet another day at our BTTC. We have already commenced with our henna competition this morning and we are moving to some unequivocally insightful learning experiences through the sessions lined up today. In the words of Greg Anderson, the concept of total wellness recognizes that our every thought, word, and behavior affects the greater health and well-being. And we in turn are affected not only emotionally but also physically and spiritually. In today's fast-paced world, mental health is not confined to the absence of mental illness. It is about nurturing resilience, emotional balance, and overall well-being. It extends beyond conventional treatments and requires comprehensive holistic approach that integrates mind, body, and spirit. Your body hears everything your mind says, as said by Naomi Judd. With that, let me introduce you to our first speaker for the day, Dr. Jawaharlal Mehta. He will be taking us through this journey of holistic approach to mental well-being. It is an absolute privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker, Dr. Jawaharlal Mehta, a distinguished medical professional with an illustrious career spanning over decades. Dr. Mehta holds an MBBS and an MD in psychological medicine from Mumbai University, along with a DPM CPS, establishing him as a leading expert in the field of mental health and psychological medicine. Beyond his clinical expertise, Dr. Mehta has served as a visiting faculty member at prestigious institutions such as Maritime Training Institute, Anglo-Eastern Shipping Company, OERC, St. John Ambulance, Converse Train Clinic Group of Hospitals, and D.S. Kothari Hospital. His leadership roles speak volumes about him. Dr. Mehta has been the president of multiple esteemed organizations, including the Rotary Club of Mumbai South, the Mumbai D-Ward Medical Association, Mumbai Medical Union, Indian Medical Association Mumbai branch, and Bombay Medical Congress. He has also held key positions as Vice President of the Indian Medical Association's Maharashtra State Branch and Honorary Secretary of the Mumbai Medical Congress and Mumbai D-Ward Medical Association. He has also served as Chairman and Co-Chairman at various medical conferences. Beyond his administrative and academic contributions, Dr. Mehta is an avid contributor to medical literature as well, with numerous published articles in medical journals, as well as a guest speaker on several radio and television programs. I would request our principal, Dr. Bhagwan Balani, and our vice principal, Professor Dr. Mandeep Kaur Kochar, to kindly felicitate our esteemed speaker, Dr. Jawaharlal Mehta on stage, please.
I request Dr. Balani sir to please welcome our guests of the day.
Good morning, dear all. It's really a lovely morning, and sir reported much before time, and I was lucky enough to interact with him. He's such a wonderful person. So let me tell you some of the things that I have gathered today. Sir's age is 79, but when you talk to the sir, you will find that you are talking to a 19 years boy. Amazing. He has got energy like anything, and I think the secret of his health, his mental health, his physical health, his spiritual health, let me say, is nothing but all. He has thrived in his profession, and he is a very live person, and he's a person who can interact with even a child also. So I'm happy to receive him here at Bombay Teachers Training College, and we were just talking what kind of institution should be, and what kind of environment should be, and what kind of teacher should be. So I think it will be very interesting to listen to him and learn based on the base lessons from his experiences. So sir, we welcome you at Bombay Teachers Training College. Bombay Teachers Training College, we call BTTC family, welcomes you, and we are eager to listen to you and learn many lessons from your experiences. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Principal Sir and faculty members. Before I start, the last bench is always my favorite. All my questions go to the last bench. क्योंकि उनका काम है सोने का, मेरा काम है जगाने का. So you can be sure, especially all those corner students who are trying to sleep. आपको नींद आ रही है, नजर आ रहा है. Don't worry, I'll try to keep you. In this 1 hour, which I'm going to talk, and I'll talk with you all, and you all will interact with me. No, wait, सुनाई दे रहा है last bench? Last bench को सुनाई दे रहा है? बहुत हो गया. I will be asking questions and you will be answering. Right? They are talking on mental health, and you are all teachers or would be teachers future. And they told me you will be teaching class 7, 8, 9, 10 and so on. Right? Probably even nursery, some of you. I'll tell you how I started my training. We never had all this kind of problem. How we started. Way back in 1978. I think none of you were born that time, if I'm not mistaken. Right? There used to be a program on TV called Aapka Swasthya in black and white. Television had just come to India. And in that program, the compare would invite speakers from different professions of medical. Say someone from heart problems, someone with lungs, someone with kidneys, and ask questions to them, prepared. And they were all prepared questions and answers, let me put it that way, with the speakers. to teach the layman simple problems in medicine. Simple. So he happened to know me, it was my good luck or whatever you say. So he called me. Right? Would you like to come on the panel and talk on mental problems? 78. 50 years back approximately, right? And a young man of 27 coming on TV, it was a big thing those days. You're on TV. So suppose you are called on TV suddenly, what would you do? Tell me. You are called on TV to give lectures and suddenly out of the blue. And nowadays everybody comes on TV, that's a different thing. I'm very happy you've come. You must give them a big hand for entry. What would you do? If you were invited to talk on TV on a topic, sit down, relax. What would you do? Say loudly, huh? They must hear last bench.
Not sure, but then of course, just share my knowledge out there.
Anyone else? Suddenly आपको बुलाया जाए as a speaker at your age on television and that is to be broadcast all over India, आप क्या करेंगे पहले?
It's a good opportunity.
तो करेंगे क्या? No. I'll tell you what. 90% of you will do the same. क्या?
No.
जितने भी मेरे सगे वाले, जितने भी मेरे जानने वाले, सबको इमीडिएट फोन। सिर्फ मैं ही नहीं, मेरी मदर भी, मेरे फादर भी, पूरे क्राउड को फोन करने का कि देखो मेरा बेटा एक टीवी पे आ रहा है, जरूर देखना। It was a big thing, you know. And in those days we used to have 20-30 people sitting in one room watching black and white TV. You can't imagine. सिर्फ 3 घंटे का प्रोग्राम उसका होता था। सबको बुलाया ऑल ओवर इंडिया, जहाँ भी जानते जाती सगे वाले से। So I went, lecture was in Hindi, class was in Hindi. बैठ के बराबर नोट्स पढ़ के, I should be tip-top young person going, and a senior man with me, senior doctor, दोनों हम बात में बैठे हैं, right? Fired up. After the lecture was over, I thought I did a very good job. घर गए, बहुत खुशी से फोन आया दिल्ली से, मेरी आंटी से, मैं करना, मासी कहते हैं ना, फोन आया, क्या फोन आया? अरे तुझे टीवी पे देखा, सबको बोला था, बहुत अच्छा लगा टीवी पे, हम सब बहुत खुश हुए, पर तू क्या बोला किसी को समझ में नहीं आया। That was the beginning of my learning as a teacher. My colleague told me, friend, you know, they're great doctor. Nobody is interested in what you know about the subject. सबको मालूम है, that is why you are there. But how you can convey to the students, that is important. People all over India are listening to you. Someone in a village, someone remote corner, and your auntie only saying, क्या बोला समझ में नहीं आया. That is the beginning of your learning. Teaching. Right? A student and a teacher are not two separate people. You will learn maximum from your students as days go by. They'll teach you. They'll teach you. You are a unit. You know, when you enter your classroom, whichever one it is, the entire class of 30, 40 or 50 or 20 students are analyzing you. वो बच्चे 7, 8, 9 स्टैंडर्ड डोंट थिंक दे आर चिल्ड्रन, दे आर एनालाइजिंग यू कि ये टीचर कैसी है और कैसे हमको याद रखने का है कि ये टीचर को नॉलेज कुछ था ही नहीं, ऐसे ही आ गई है क्लास में, या बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रिक्ट टीचर है तो सिर्फ दिलाते रहती है और कुछ नहीं करती है बिना वजह से। हमारे ज़माने में तो सिंपल था, अ चाइल्ड वाज मेकिंग मिस्टेक, 2 लप्पड़ लगाओ काम पूरा हो गया। आजकल यू बी Called up for what? Child harassment. क्या कहाँ से आ गया? Child harassment हो रहा है. My grandchild came and one day told me, don't get angry at me, child harassment. 9-year-old child. I said मैं एक नहीं 2 जोर से लगाऊंगा, you can't complain. क्या लगाया? Child harassment. They are the ones analyzing you all the time. When these children go home, even on the first day of your school, every parent will come to know ये टीचर ये कपड़े पहनती है, ये टीचर ऐसे बोलती है, ये ऐसे चलती है, इसको कुछ आता भी है कि नहीं आता है, they made up their mind. and they know how to handle you for the rest of the year. Don't get the idea you're teaching them and you're handling them. 30 students and you're 1:30. Where is the competition? They know how to handle you. Very well they know. And you know, practical examples, and I've faced all these big problems. I can tell you, दिल्ली से फोन आ रहा है, तू क्या बताया कुछ याद नहीं. And the same thing I learned from my professor even, and this must be somewhere in 60s. His wife was attending a conference, gynecologist, where she was giving a lecture on gynecology to international audience. She was very nervous. Being a lady, she was very nervous. I don't say being a lady, even gents are nervous. Okay? हाथ ऐसे चल रहे हैं, पसीना आ रहा है, international audience क्या बोल रहे हैं? Husband sitting in a corner, he passed a note to her. और क्या लिखा था उसमें? Can you guess count? It is that well known, it is quoted in every textbook now. उसमें क्या लिखा था? Only 4 words. KISS. Kiss.
Sure. That's it.
Right? It is well known now, but it actually happened. It's not just written in textbook. She was so happy कि 60 साल की उम्र में my husband finds me so romantic at this stage. और क्या चाहिए? 60 years का age. She fired up the lecture full confidence. और क्या चाहिए? And this is actually we were part of it. Textbook तो जाने दो, actually part of it. And after that we had a party, we were getting together and she was trying to pull the husband's leg. See, at this age he is so much in love with me और क्या क्या लिख रहा है. And what did he say? What does it mean?
Keep it short and
Keep it simple, stupid. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't talk any rubbish. Don't think that you have to show off your knowledge. And that's why you're there. But the person must understand what you're talking. So today you are taught, and I've attended many of our classes, I mean given lectures. You are taught there should be something like induction training. There should be something like subject service training. There should be something like integration. क्या है समझ में मुझे अभी भी नहीं आ रहा, but it is so. And when I was doing a little research or survey, shall I say, कि training कैसे है, I was surprised to know that 3,000 years ago, 3,000 साल पहले, and maybe more, in India we already had classification of teachers. कि टीचर कैसे होना चाहिए, what are their problems they face, और students भी कैसे होने चाहिए. Can anyone tell me any one of it? What was the classification? 3,000 years back. And today we are learning what Western people are trying to teach us. कि क्या syllabus है समझ में मुझे नहीं आ रहा. They started by saying that the very first basic teacher is अध्यापक. I'm sure all of you know Hindi. I can speak in English, Hindi, little bit Marathi, but Tamil मुझे नहीं आता है, so don't expect me, right? Basic is अध्यापक. Now I can make a little modification. 3,000 साल का थोड़ा बहुत तो change करना चाहिए. What does an अध्यापक mean? You will get teachers, and some of you I hope are not. They sit in front of the class, open the textbook, and just keep reading from the text. Page 1, page 2, page 3, suddenly, समझ गए? Class over. Right? The students immediately come to know within 10 minutes कि एक teacher को कुछ आता नहीं है. Don't do that. अध्यापक, basic knowledge. Going a little up, and see this 3,000 years back, it's not today. And what kind of students are that? Even that 3,000 years ago, even I was surprised. A second class, going little higher, we call it Upadhyay. Upadhyay was someone who would read from the text and then try and explain paragraph by paragraph. इसमें ये लिखा है, इसमें ये लिखा है, but reading from the text. So teachers will come to a conclusion, थोड़ा बहुत आता है, ठीक है. A higher level was called Acharya. You heard of Dronacharya, I'm sure all of you, at least some of you must have heard, I won't say all. इतना तो आता होगा. An Acharya was someone who was a specialist in one subject. Any one subject. It could be archery, in those days, Dronacharya, what they called it, any one subject. Now what happens a problem if you are a specialist only in one subject, your level. Suppose you are good in that subject, maybe. Your students think you know everything of everything. They will ask you questions on topics which have no connection with your subject, but you are in charge. This happened to one of my teachers. I'm telling you, 62 level, 62. The teacher knew only music, the music teacher. The principal said, there's a history class going on. You take this history class for the next month. So what would he do? He knew nothing. And the topic was on Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan नाम सुना है किसी ने कि नहीं? सुना है. Ah, good, yes. Yeah. Thanks for coming later. And you are not the only student. हमने भी ऐसे किया है. ये नहीं कि हम student नहीं थे. You know? I remember one of the lectures started at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 to 9. Special lecture for medical. We got up at 8:30. हॉस्टल में हम 3 थे. अब जाएंगे नहीं जाएंगे? That's a big question. तो one of them said जाएंगे ना, क्या हो गया? 8:30 तो क्या हो गया? जाएंगे ना. And you know how you will run to the class test. And by the time we entered the class, it was already 8:45. And the entrance was same from here. The teacher has to see you. He can't miss you. The teacher got up, came and shook hands with each one of us. I am honored that you come before the class is over. The entire class started clapping. Give a big hand, correct? From that they never made a mistake of getting up that way. Many of you do. We have done all these things. There is nothing new under the sun, right? So Adhyapak, Acharya would be someone with you. So this fellow go and give lecture on history on Tipu Sultan. He knew nothing about Tipu Sultan. He never heard about Tipu Sultan. Let's put it that way. So how did he spend the half an hour? All of you sit down straight, back up. नहीं आपको नहीं कहा back side. You can. I have no objection to it. आधा घंटा सिर्फ ऊपर नीचे चलते रहा. Sit down straight, back up, this and so on. But Tipu Sultan का नाम ही नहीं लिया. And he was there for 1 month. Can you imagine? And every day same thing. So one fine day something came in his mind. कुछ तो बोलना है क्या कि नहीं? He picked up I think 3 or 4 sentences from where even I don't know. And we were the toppers, so we used to tell कि प्रिंसिपल साहब को कंप्लेंट करें कि क्या करें, सिर्फ क्लास में ऐसे बैठे रहो. Just 4 lines he picked up. Tipu Sultan was a very good ruler. He used to talk little. He used to hate talkers. He was very good to his kingdom. But बोल क्या रहा है? I mean, if you read about Tipu Sultan, there is an entire lot of history to be read at those times. So students will come to know within 10 minutes आपको क्या आता है कि नहीं, and then go home and tell their parents. Teacher ऐसे थी, ये बोल रही थी, वो कर रही थी. Yeah, 30 to 1. What are you analyzing then? Right? Go Acharya. Go a little level higher than that, and classification more than 2,000, 3,000 years ago. Pandit. Today you think of Pandit, one who comes to Puja Path. No. Pandit was someone who knew his subject very well and could talk on the subject without having to open the books. I always teach my students, that if you are a teacher or you are giving lecture anywhere, for God's sake, don't keep notes and papers in front of you. Everyone can make out your reading from there. What do you know? It should be here. If you are teaching. It should be here. And what is here? 9 kidneys. Indians have kidneys here. क्यों? Whatever is written in a textbook and written by any Tom, Dick and Harry from abroad, that is God's word. उस आदमी को कुछ आता होगा कि नहीं आता होगा, टेक्स्ट बुक अमेरिका में लिखा है. You follow it. If it is written by Indian, we have to get famous by first getting famous in America, and then they will say, हाँ, we knew this Indian. ये तो हमारा Indian born American. So Pandit was someone who knew not only his subject, he could talk on any subject at that time. Go still higher, see what you can become. This is someone called Drishta. I'm not going too much in Sanskrit, my Sanskrit is very good. Vishnu was someone who not only knew his subject, who not only teach the subject, but could explain something beyond the subject. And that is what you're supposed to do. Don't just follow what is given in syllabus and rattle it out like a parrot. Page 1, 2, 3, 4, ho gaya. No? He could give stories, he could give incidents, anecdotes beyond his subject. That was the Pandit scholar. And the highest was Guru. A Guru was someone, see, 3000 years back, someone who not only could teach you the subject, but could inspire you to do something beyond that. I mean, even after 30, 40 years, I'm telling you, when I meet somebody and he comes and tells me, sir, do you remember me? I'm so and so batch. And today I'm so and so person. Thanks to what you told us. You first told us in humor and anecdotes, but that is what we are following today and change our career only. Yes. A guru is someone who could inspire you to do beyond what is in text. Otherwise, what are you learning? I tell my students, any idiot can pass. I said, if you fail, you have to be a genius. If you fail in my class, anyone can pass. What's so great about it? Once you joined a college, you may not pass first year, once, twice, thrice, but ultimately the teachers will get fed up. Pass it, that is why. We had a medical student, actually I'm telling you, medical student. The fellow didn't want to be a doctor. His father was a big doctor, so he had to become a doctor. He failed first year, second time, kept on failing, kya karte ka, right? Till one of us became his examiner. You can imagine that. हमारा classmate, one of them became examiner. अब उसको fail कैसे किया जाए? Big problem, right? तो 10 बातें सुना रहा है रोज पढ़ के, मुझे fail कर रहे हो. So we all sat down in the room. Okay, how to pass it? What questions should we ask that he can answer? And we knew nothing. So one of us, my colleague, don't worry, Mehta, I'll ask a question. So what did he ask? He said, tell me anything you know. Anything you know. And what was the answer he gave? I know nothing. Correct. Correct. You deserve to pass. Get all that. I've seen all kind of ups and downs. So you will get any of these teachers, which one you want to become, you have to decide. The students are analyzing you. And not only that, the next year, another batch. And before the batch has entered the classroom, your reputation has already spread. Okay, this teacher will teach you in this manner, this teacher you don't have to bother, go to sleep, he knows nothing. And this teacher is very strict. We used to have palm striker, I don't know if you have it nowadays. Palm striker and cane. One of them was good enough for the whole day. Nowadays you can't, correct? Reputation goes. And you have all kind of problems coming. That is where your tension and anxiety will start. Forget medical technical terms. When you are entering a class and you find the students laughing at you, and believe me, I'm not against girls or anything, but 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, you all have been there. And you know what you all have been towards the teachers. You can give help. You can just give help. You can have them having a response. He's a very good teacher. You get them, even now when they come. Peripona, like you said, Punjab. Or, no, we don't know you. It's a relationship. Student-teacher is a relationship, one unit. It is not too different. The more you teach, the number of years you teach, the more you will learn, and you will realize how little I knew when I started teaching. Forget my degrees, they are not important. You will get it from anywhere. We have enough universities in India, I'm not going to name them. You can get degrees sitting at home. That is not important. The students will analyze. To take a simple example, and how they can create help. I'm sure many of you girls have done it with your teachers sometime or the other. And the memory of that teacher and what you have done makes you feel very happy sometimes, right? I'll give you my grandson's example. I keep learning from him, 12 years old guy. They went for a camp, big school camp, and the person in charge of the camp, very strict, God knows what was in his brain, would shout all the time, scream, attention, this, that, and they have gone for a camp to enjoy. So they decided now what to do. So one of the 30 minutes program was there, in which the same teacher was in charge. So he said, I'm just keeping my mobile here, I'm just going to the washroom to fresh myself. Well, there, 3 or 4 boys with him, I won't name the school, I don't want to get into trouble. 3 or 4 boys followed him. What did they do? There you are, see? बाहर से लॉक कर दिया. And you are in a camp. There is no one to listen to you. And quietly they went and stood in the attention gap पे खड़े होने का. All the boys and girls knew this is what they've done. And this chap shouting, screaming, banging the door, no response. 20 minutes तक no response. They kept quiet. Program was 30 minutes. After 20 minutes, 2 or 3 boys just went there politely. Arey sir, you are making, what are you doing inside? Full jam. This chap came out and you know this temper. Tell me who did it. Now class unity, you must remember, is something great. And all of you are done it. No matter what the teacher threatens you, you are not going to talk against your colleague. Unless you are a red person. I mean, that's a different individual. Like, all quiet. And you know how you can make your face looking so innocent. Okay, what is he asking us about? Girls are more expert, huh? Boys are not. I'll tell you that. They look so innocent. कि क्या बोल रहे हैं हमको सोने को पिटारी को नहीं कर रहे. You are permitted to sleep, but on the first bench. No. No. No one said a word. He got very angry. If you don't tell me who did it, I'll punish the entire batch. अभी कैंप में क्या punishment लियोगे तुम? ये classroom थोड़े है तुम्हारी. I'll punish the entire lot of you. So one of the guys, I won't say who he was, but he went there. Sir, class को क्यों punish कर रहे हो? I knocked you. I didn't knock you. I thought that there's nobody inside. दरवाजा खुला है तो मैंने उसको बंद कर दिया. Good. Punishment क्या दिया? 1 घंटे तक तू धूप में खड़े रहेगा. और क्या कर सकते हैं? तो वो खड़े रहा, लेकिन इंटायर क्लास टर्न बाय टर्न उसके पास जाए, फिक्र नहीं कर, जाने तो होते ही रहता है. Class unity. After that, when they came, and I knew them very well, and they came and told me, see, नाना मैंने हमने ये किया. क्या ऐसे क्यों किया? He said, Nana, Newton's third law.
Every action has an equal reaction.
For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. अरे कैंप में गए हैं, we have come to enjoy ourselves, we are going to learn also, we agree. पर ये क्या mental drill लगाया क्या आपने? And you can imagine, and that went down the entire school. Don't get that idea. वो टीचर का क्या हाल होगा in front of his colleagues, you can think about it. The colleagues will take you right and left. They are not bothered about you. So what do you want to become like? One of those? And especially for the girls teacher, when you are talking on 7th, 8th, 9th standard, it is not only your curriculum. Your students expect you to be a second mother, let me put it that way. And I am not going to give lecture how good you should be or what you should be. Nobody is perfect. All that what you read in Google and YouTube, I don't think anybody can become. Only the Google guy can become. But you are expected to be a second mother. There are so many problems, and you have done it. They will come and tell the teacher, but they will not tell the mother or father or parents. And especially growing up girls here. There are so many of them. I mean, in our time, talking about sex education was a taboo. Not existing only. Simply not existing. Today they watch on TV everything. What are you going to teach them? They'll teach. But they have their problems. They know their difficulties. They want to talk with you. And they want to talk with someone who will listen. That is the teacher you should be. If just teaching a syllabus, anyone can teach it, nothing great about it. And like I tell my students, if any of you fail, you must be a genius. I keep telling them that. Why? Simple. And some of you must have done it. Huh? Put your hands up if it is not there. My daughters, I've got 3 of them, so I know every possible way a girl thinks. 3 daughters, 1 wife, 1 mother-in-law, 1 mother, 1 sister, and I'm alone. So there's no angle I've not seen or experienced or heard about what they do. Right? So they'll ask you any kind of question. You're expected to answer it. Yes. You can't make the girl feel embarrassed just because she's growing up. It was a taboo subject in our time. Today, you have to teach them proper values. Look, this is normal growing up period. You know the irony with many parents, I'm not saying parents, many people, they look up at a growing boy. Time out. They look at a growing boy or a girl, look directly into her eyes for this. अभी भी सुधर जा, अभी भी सुधर जा, जो बुरे विचार तू सोच रहा है अभी भी छोड़ दे. And the guy is stumped here. Yeah, how did this fellow come to know what I'm thinking? There's a normal growing up feelings and thoughts. What is so great? You can catch anybody on the road and ask that question. What's so great about it? But fear, no. These are evil thoughts, evil ideas. These are normal ideas. They're growing up ideas. You have to be channeled properly, spoken properly. What's so great about it? You have to do that. And you are expected to do it as a teacher. A teacher must be someone to whom a student can come to, and you must have your own experience in school. You can go up and ask, Miss, can I ask you a question? Nothing to do with the syllabus. That is what a teacher is. Yeah. So, and then comes to a student. Imagine what kind of student should be there. What do you think? What should be a qualification of a student? Come on, last bench, who's trying to talk? What kind of a student would you expect? Nice student. जोर से बोलिए. Obedient, honest, और बस खाली 2 ही बहुत हो गए. और you can use all the words in the dictionary available and still not come to an end. Our ancestors only said 3 qualifications. Only 3. Which they called in Sanskrit Shravan, Manan and Vidya. What he said, a good student should be one who is willing to listen to it. Who is willing to listen to the teacher. That's the Shravan. Then after he has listened to the teacher, he will go home and think over what the teacher has said. Maybe repeat it once in his mind, twice in his mind. And after that come to a conclusion. Is the teacher talking rubbish or is he talking sense? Then you can make a judgment. That is the student you want. Not someone who repeats what you said like a parrot and passes the exam. Anyone can do that. That becomes a good teacher and a good student, and that's a bond. And if you don't have that bond, you are teaching nothing. I remember my teacher, I was talking with the principal, Hindi master, 40 years back. He told me, when I was a student in 8th standard, look, one day you may become a great man, many of you will become. But even after 40 years, I meet you, and if I need something, I can demand from you, not request. I was your teacher, you learned because of me, and I can demand, I want this, no questions asked. That is the bonding we should have. Not just that you've given a lecture and gone away and forgotten. And how many times when you meet together, you keep talking, this teacher was that way, this teacher was that way. Someone who can inspire, make you feel nice and happy. I would like her to ask me some questions, that would be better. Come on, fire up. Any questions, come on, any suggestions, yes, go ahead. जो भी मन में आए, doesn't mean it is personal. Anyone, if nobody asks, it means nobody has heard anything. पूछिए. Last bench, any questions? Because I can go on for the subject for hours together, but that doesn't make sense. You fall asleep before that. बोलिए. और जोर से बोलना.
Nowadays we come across situations where the students try to embarrass the teacher, try to make fun, try to be the cool student, and when the whole class is laughing on you, you have to be there and be calm. So how do you be that calm?
Not only today, we did it 40 years back. I'm telling you, more than 50 years back. In medical level, there was a junior most post we call a houseman consider. Junior most post. And my boss, we used to call them bosses. They had a habit of picking on me for no reason at all. You don't know anything. How will you become a doctor? This, that. One day I got fed up. So I told him, sir, this is a patient here. The X-ray is showing so much problems in the lungs. But I can't find anything when I'm hearing it, auscultating it. You can't hear anything. You saw the X-ray. You put a stethoscope. And what can you not hear? See, all these lungs are showing all these signs. Bronchial, whatever we used to call them. Why can't you hear? I put it again. But sir, I can't hear what you are showing here. I can't hear. You can't become a doctor. You can't hear so loud. My colleague, junior colleague, she suddenly said, sir, it is the wrong patient's X-ray you showed. It is not this patient, it is the next patient. There is nothing wrong with this patient. After that, he never troubled me. Of course, the students are going to school. Haven't you done that? If you have not done that, you missed something great. 7th, 8th, 9th standard, what else are they going to do? They are there for making fun, they are there for making mischief. How do you handle it? We call it something like defense mechanism. You know, any of you have read Freud, Sigmund Freud and whatnot. Defense mechanism. You must have humor. You must learn how to laugh with the students and laugh at yourself. There's nothing great about you. You are only learning like what they are teaching, You must learn to laugh at your mistakes. Yes, I made a mistake. They'll be happy. But if you try to penalize them, how dare you speak against me, I, the great teacher? They'll do it next time more. The moment your back is turned, how many of you have experienced, the moment your back is turned towards the blackboard, the class starts making noise. We've all experienced it. Yeah. Why? Because they know the teacher knows nothing, or you don't have a sense of humor. Humor is the most important thing. A person must learn how to laugh at himself. That doesn't mean you stand on the road and start laughing tomorrow. Then you land up in my department. That's a different thing. But you must learn to laugh at your mistakes. So what? We are human beings. Who said we are perfect? We are not going to be perfect at all. One of them asked me, sir, but how to get peace of mind? No, I am not a sannyasi or sant or anything. But I told him, I guarantee you, one day in life you will get peace of mind. And can you tell me when? When you are dead. Till that time you are going to have your problems. And that comes to the part. Please do not bring your problems in your classroom. It shows on your face. I know it's not easy. It's not easy. Give a simple example. I've had a teacher, God knows something must have happened. He came without any logic, any reason, he started shouting at all of us, one by one. Finding mistake. तेरा ये mistake है, ये है, started claim करने का. What did we say all of us? ये घर में इसको मार पड़ी होगी Standard. घर में मार पड़ी होगी, आके हमको दिखा रहा है. हाँ? Don't carry your problems of your home in the school. They are not interested. They want to bring their problems to them. And never, please, for God's sake, never start crying. I'm telling you the girls, I don't know how quickly you are able to cry. It's like a tap here, 1 second and you start crying. Not in front of your students. They may show sympathy or they may show contempt. And especially if you start crying after they've cracked a joke on you. We've cracked jokes on our teachers and they are going to crack on you. What's so great? But use the Freudian attitude. Have humor. Second, next time go with anticipation that this problem is coming. You know which student is going to create which problem and when it is coming. Go with anticipation. Be ready for it. It won't come. It is there. So don't get the idea you're going to face it. I still face it after 50 years. They're going to be there forever. They are students. Why else are they students? Otherwise they would be teachers. Right? Yes.
My question to you is that this is student and teacher. However, we are a sum total of individuals, and so we are going to have different emotions. Like you mentioned that compartmentalization is important. However, we are still going to have emotions.
Yeah.
So how can we as teachers support fellow teachers? Like what is your experience of supporting your other staff members or other educators around you? And how have you been able to bring that atmosphere? Even it goes for our class, right? Like there's a lot of unity in students because when we come to a professional course, when we're becoming teachers, and then we also go into our respective schools. What is your idea of supporting your fellow staff members and making people
Okay.
in the class?
What is my idea of how your colleagues behave towards you? Behave towards you. When I was a student, one of my professors told me, look, Mehta, today the one who is your best friend may turn out to be your worst enemy after 5 years. Don't look at it. It's a fact of life. It's a fact of life. Like somebody, if you're watching TV yesterday, someone was quoting Henry Kissinger. I'm sure some of you heard of Henry Kissinger. What he said, it is dangerous to be an enemy of America. But to be a friend of America, it is fatal. You are done for. Your best friends could turn out to be your rivals tomorrow. But somewhere you have to use. Remember one thing, even as a specialist, I never give advice to anyone unless specifically asked for. There are many of us here, I'm not saying no, who without any logic, any reason will give their opinion, give their advice to you. And this is especially for you girls when you get married. Okay? You'll get any number of advices. And they could be the ones who are going to break up your home instead of making. It's an irony and it's a fact of life. And I've seen, where does it start from? I've seen the girls behaving. I'm not saying no, I have daughters. You'll have a friend coming, best friend. Your in-laws, what have they given you? This? Very cheap. Even that person got better. That is the beginning of your chain of thoughts. Okay, what went wrong? Don't do it. And the other, use your kidneys. As far as your colleagues are concerned, my advice, even today, even as a psychiatrist, I have never given advice to any of my colleagues unless they come and ask specifically. Then yes. And second, of course, your profession is a little different. No free advice. No free advice. They won't listen. I've got personal experience. I had a friend of mine, very good friend. His parents came from Ahmedabad or so with some mental problems. So he called me. My parents are there, you must see. I spent half an hour with him explaining. He listened politely and after half an hour he said, and I can't think of his, my colleague's parents. And after half an hour, what did the father say? अच्छा भाई कोई अच्छा डॉक्टर हो तो मुझे सिखा दे. Don't get embarrassed. It's going to happen. And number of times if the advice you give is genuine, and especially home people. Home people you cannot give advice. If it is your, I'm not saying everyone, but if it is your mommy, daddy, brother, sister, you cannot give advice. Their opinion is उनका आता क्या है? अभी तो इतनी थी, अभी 2 किताब पढ़ी तो क्या? They'll do it. It's part of life. So don't worry. I never give advice unless asked for. When somebody says, okay, you're a psychiatrist, so what are you thinking about us? I said, I'm on a holiday. I'm not analyzing you right now. Don't bother. Any other question? Come on. Any other? No? Yeah.
So how do you define guru?
Guru?
In your hierarchy of
I said Guru is someone who not only knows his subject, but will inspire you to study beyond what the curriculum is. You know, for example, my Hindi teacher, he was very good in Hindi, I'll tell you. And thanks to him, what happened one day, I did not study anymore. You know, I thought I'm great. You get students who think we are great now, what is there to study? He asked me a question. It was an exam for inter. We used to have Gujarati Vidyapeeth. I don't know if you have it today. In school 9th standard, we did the BA level at that time. So he asked a question. I had not studied, I'm a great man. He made me stand and gave me a firing. Who the hell you think you are? You think I've come here just for fooling around? Next day I studied the entire book by heart. And thanks to him, I studied more of Hindi than I studied English literature. But again, never underestimate any student. If I have overtaken the time, you can stop me anytime. Never underestimate any student. In a class where there are 10 students sitting, there will be at least one who will know your subject as well as you know. Don't think no. I'm telling you my personal experience, how you look like an idiot. I went to my colleague's house, his mother, very simple lady, safed sari pehna hai, served us tea. I thought maybe she has done 8th or 9th standard and she's serving us. Some gentlemen, some of our colleagues just mentioned to be or not to be. Where does it come from? Anyone? To be or not to be? Hamlet. Like Hamlet. So I turned to this lady and I told her, they are talking about Shakespeare. Have you heard of Shakespeare? Home looking. Pin drop silence. After 3 minutes, one boy got up, you idiot. She's a teacher of English literature in the college in Bombay. What are you talking about Shakespeare? What have you know about Shakespeare? Never underestimate. There will always be someone who knows at least as much as you know. So you have to go a little prepared. You know, many times you think I can just go and bluff. Even after 40 years of teaching, if I'm teaching a subject which I know by heart, I will still, before going, tell them, give me 2 days time to prepare for the subject. Because someone is going to be there who knows more than me. What's so great? Knowledge is infinity. In mathematics, they teach us, you know, infinity minus infinity is equal to infinity. That is the basic. So that's how you handle. Of course, you can't do the palm striker or cane today, unfortunately. But that would be a lovely way of treatment. Shortcut. No questions asked. If the student goes home and complains to parents, he will get 2 more. If the teacher is right, you must have done something wrong. Today they'll come to you and say, mental harassment, child harassment. What crap is going on? Why? Because we have forgotten to use our kidneys. We use what America says or what London says. And many of you will have an ambition. If I clear from here, I'll go and settle in America. I'll go and settle in London. For God's sake, do it. It is not paradise there. You'll be treated like dirt to start with. Okay, few of you well known internationally, we never had the problem. But don't think okay, that is paradise there. There is no place like India. No place like India. If you don't have any money, you're financially broke, then anywhere in the world is better. I'll put it that way. But if you have basics, there is no place like India. Don't get the idea they are waiting for you with red carpet. अरे वो इंडिया से आए हैं, इनका सम्मान करें. You're zero. So handling students is of course not so easy. But just think of your days, how you were as a student and what would happen. Then you got your answer. And we've all done all mischief under the sun. There's nothing new. I used to love sleeping when somebody gives lecture. I used to love sleeping. And I used to love sleeping on the first bench. That is the worst part. Till my teacher one day got up. तो Mehta मैं हाथ जोड़ता हूँ. तुझे सोना तो बड़े शौक से सो, कॉर्नर में जाके सो. तू मेरे सामने सो रहा है, how can I teach anybody? It's a fact. Yes, any question from this side? Come on. Let me know when it is over. Okay. Any questions from this side? चलो भाई सब लोग तो नहीं सो रहे हो, कुछ तो पूछो. Fire off any question. It doesn't mean person.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay.
Sir, we have a question.
Auntie.
Last question.
जोर से.
Sir, today teachers not not only deal with students but also with parents of students.
Parent teacher day.
So, and parents have a lot of expectations now from teachers. Earlier the times were very different where the teacher's word was more valued. But now it's the other way around where,
Please listen, all of you will experience this.
where the parents actually put it on the teacher as to this is what we expect from
Yes.
you.
Parent teacher day. All of us have faced it. When you are taking your mother, and most of the time it is the mother, father's time नहीं है तुम जाओ. What did you tell your mother before she went to the classroom to meet your teacher? सोचो. देखो बराबर कपड़े पहन कर ये तुम घर में जो पहनते हो ना, ये पहली क्लास में नहीं आना, मेरी भी कोई इज्जत है. और टीचर के सामने ज्यादा बकबक नहीं करना, ज्यादा बोलना नहीं, चुपचाप सुनना. Right? We all done it, and if you've not done it, I'm surprised. Right? And मेरे टीचर के सामने, and the teacher, you're right. Today, because the fees are so high, and not in all schools, but schools where the fees is really exorbitant, they think you must be a superhuman being because they don't pay attention to their child. You should know everything. You should be able to teach everything. You have to take it with a pinch of salt. It's going to happen. It's not there. I mean, if somebody comes from, say, I won't name the people, and I had all the experience, film stars and all of them. You're the teacher, you're supposed to do everything. So what about your role at home? इतना फीस लेते हैं आप ये भी नहीं करते. And today what I'm trying to prevent, any of the schools have got psychologists there. What is the favorite thing about that teacher, Any child not doing anything, refer to the psychologist, label him ADHD. You know what's ADHD, attention deficit. Label it ADHD. My grandson. Label. Come and meet the teacher. Come in here. And what, 3 teachers sitting like a panel, and my poor daughter shivering, what has happened to my child? Your child doesn't know anything. She fired the child. I said, don't worry, I happen to be like, just shut up, I'm coming to you. I went there and I spoke with them. I said, on what basis have you labeled him ADHD? Do you know what is ADHD? I asked. I said, look, I'm the senior most psychiatrist. I'll take you to court if you don't tell me what is ADHD. No, we never said that. We just wanted to meet the parent to see how the child is doing. And someone said, see, I told him go and put water to the plant, he didn't go. I said, that makes him ADHD. It's become a fashion, believe me, it's become a fashion in many schools where they have a psychologist to keep the psychologist busy or to show that we know extra knowledge. But please imagine the humiliation of a child who's just been labeled like this. And I've had one very good top family in India. The child has been taking, and today he's 20 years old, was labeled ADHD, taking medicine for 10 years. And when I saw him, I said, who told you you had ADHD? There are no signs of ADHD. But if the child is mischievous or the child is not paying attention, ADHD. Rubbish. Don't worry, parents are going to expect the moon from you. You don't have to bother. You don't have to worry. And 100 parents, 100 opinions. You cannot win everybody. You cannot under any condition please everybody. Then it's a simple story of a donkey and a father and a son. You know what happened. Ultimately they are carrying the donkey. Don't worry. You have done your best. What else can you do? You've done it. And that's more than enough as a teacher. You are not supposed to create a revolution in India. I can tell you, be honest, be this, be that. I can give you 20 lists. None of you can pass that exam. We are all human beings. Do your best. That is enough. Any other question? Last question, like you said.
That's, I think, the time.
Okay.
So much.
Thank you. Sorry to keep you waiting.
I request everyone everyone to settle down. Your mental health is a priority. Your happiness is essential. Your self-care is a necessity. A very good morning, everyone. On behalf of all of us, it is an absolute honor for me to extend a heartfelt gratitude on this meaningful occasion dedicated to mental health awareness. First and foremost, I sincerely thank our esteemed speaker, Dr. Jawaharlal Mehta, for sharing his profound insights and shedding light on the importance of mental health. Your words have been both enlightening and inspiring. We would also like to thank our principal, Dr. Bhagwan Balani, and our vice principal, Professor Dr. Mandeep Kaur Kochar, along with our staff at Bombay Teachers Training College, who have been an instrumental driving force in the strong culture ensuring such an exposure to us student teachers. Your efforts in fostering such an open and supportive dialogue on mental health are truly commendable. A special appreciation to the organizers, volunteers and support staff whose dedication and hard work made this event a resounding success. To our wonderful audience, your presence and engagement reflect the growing commitment to fostering a culture of empathy and understanding. Your participation is what gives this cause its true impact. Lastly, let us carry forward the knowledge and compassion we have gained today. Mental health is not just a conversation, it's a commitment. Together, let's continue to advocate for awareness, support, and kindness. Thank you.